The story of prostitution in India is as old as the country itself. Historically, it wasn't always viewed with the stigma it carries today. In ancient India, during the period of the Maurya Empire, prostitution was recognized and regulated. Sex workers, known as garnikas, were highly respected and even considered an essential part of society. As time progressed, the perception towards this profession evolved, and by the time the British Raj took over, things had changed drastically. The British enacted the Contagious Diseases Act in the 1860s, which mandated regular health checks for sex workers, thus beginning a trend of criminalizing and marginalizing them. Fast forward to post-independence India, the lawmakers grappled with the question of how to address the issue of prostitution. The result was the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, or ITPA, enacted in 1956. The ITPA, rather than outrightly banning prostitution, criminalized activities related to it, such as running brothels, living off the earnings of a sex worker, or soliciting in public. However, it left a gray area about the legality of the act of prostitution itself. Then comes the question of the right to profession. The Indian Constitution, under Article 19, 1(g), guarantees the right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. This provision raises a pertinent question. If a person chooses to be a sex worker voluntarily, is it not their constitutional right to do so? Indian courts have grappled with these complexities over the years. In the landmark case of Gaurav Jain v. Union of India, the Supreme Court held that sex workers have the right to live with dignity. In Buddhadev Karmaskar v. State of West Bengal, the court reiterated this stance and called for efforts to rehabilitate sex workers. In the case of Kajal Mukesh Singh and Oars versus the state of Maharashtra, the court emphasized that sex work, when done voluntarily, is not illegal. The takeaway from this discourse is that while the act of voluntary prostitution is not illegal in India, many activities associated with it are. Sex workers are entitled to live with dignity, and they have the right to access healthcare without discrimination. The reality, however, is far from this ideal, as they often face violence, discrimination, and legal dilemmas. The existing laws need to evolve further to ensure protection and rights for sex workers, and the stigmatization surrounding this profession needs to be addressed. As we reflect on this, remember that the legality of prostitution in India is a nuanced issue. It's a blend of history, societal attitudes, and legal interpretations. While the laws are evolving, the journey towards a more inclusive and respectful treatment of sex workers is far from over.